Okay, look at these images over here. What do you think is that mountain? Of course, that's too obvious. That will be 2012. It's in the movie 2012 wherein everybody died and then there was a ship that saved the Chinese and some rich people. If you haven't watched 2012, well, most of the earth most probably has. Okay. Okay, now in this video, we are going to be discussing the last kind of convergent boundary. And that is going to be Sharon. The convergence of, yes, I know, my handwriting is absolutely wonderful. Convergence of two continental plates. We know that when oceanic and continental plate converge, the oceanic plate sinks. It melts. We also know that when two oceanic plates converge, the older one will be denser and it will also sink. But it is an absolutely different story when two continental plates are going to converge. So this is what happens. This here, the Mount Everest is produced by the convergence of two continental plates. So usually when two plates such as oceanic, and continental oceanic plates will converge, one will subduct, thus creating a depression called a trench. But when two continental crusts will converge, most of it will not sink. There will be some portions that will sink, that is, those are the older parts, but most of the continental crust, when they collide, they will create mountains. Or something like that. Like that. When I push my two hands together, they are going to form, they are going to rise. And a series of mountains called mountain ranges. So let's also look at this illustration here. So when I have a paper here, look at that. When I am going to push my paper towards each other, it will rise. Just like that. So another illustration of how that will look like. It will rise. That is the same thing that will happen when two continental plates are going to converge. Let me quickly illustrate that. This continental plate and then this continental plate, when they converge with each other, they will form mountain ranges. A very good example of that is this. Mount Everest and the mountain range called the Himalayas, over at the border between these countries. So this here is the Himalayas, a series of very, very tall mountains, if not where the most tall mountains of the earth are located. And this here I will show to you over this area over here explains why the Himalayas were formed. Because millions and millions of years ago, the Indian plate converged with the Eurasian plate. And since the boundaries between the two plates are continental crusts, they are going to form mountain ranges. So the Indian plate converges with the Eurasian plate. It formed the Himalayas over here. Okay? Such as this. A mountain range is going to be formed. I'm just going to quickly move my head to the side. What type of plate boundary causes this movement? It is a convergent boundary. Let's just go through these questions over here. What type of force from convection current is acting upon these plates? Slab pull. It pushes the two convergent plates towards each other, and then some part of ancient oceanic crust very old type of oceanic crust sinks. Okay? What happens when the two plates converge? They will rise above the level of the ground. This happens because the two continental plates have less density. Okay? And also because of the foldings. The force pushes the ground up high. What type of landfall do you call created by these plates? It's called as mountain ranges. Okay? And two plates converge, a collision zone is formed, the boundary between the two continental plates. Unlike the other types of boundaries, subduction stops for this particular convergence. But we know that some ancient oceanic crust sinks. Trenches, volcanoes, islands are not created by this process. A large group of tall mountains, mountain ranges, are formed. Okay? And then the next paragraph explains the formation of the Himalayas. About 42 million years ago, the Indian Eurasian plates collided, forming the Himalayas. And since subduction is impossible between two, it formed the Himalayan mountain range over here. See? Over here. And that is how the tallest mountain was created. Due to forces of plate tectonics converging two continental crusts towards each other, forcing them to have a collision zone, thus making them rise above the ground.